Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a GFX tutorial, and yeah, I hope you enjoy. So a quick disclaimer, for this tutorial you will be needing a computer of some sort because this tutorial cannot be done on a Chromebook or a mobile device, and you will also be needing Blender 2.79 and Roblox Studio. Roblox Studio comes pre-installed with your Roblox if you have it. But if you don't have it, you can just go to roblox.com/create, and it will also be linked in the description, and it should bring you somewhere like this, and then just click start creating, and then there will be this pop-up, and then you can just click allow. But I already have Roblox Studio, so I don't need to download it again. Once you've opened Roblox Studio, it should look like this, and then just click on a classic base plate over here, and then your base plate should start to load in, and this is most likely what it will look like. However, you may or may not have these tabs open. So to get these tabs, I'll just be showing you how to do that right now. So go to View, and then click on Explore, Properties, and Toolbox, and then you will have the tabs that you need for this tutorial. So the first step is to get the plugin that you need to load your character. So go to Models over here and change it to Plugins. Normally the plugin that you would want is this one over here, the Load Character Lite, and there will be a button that says Install over here, but if it doesn't show up for you for some reason, you can just search Load Character over here. And then just click on it and install it. Once you have installed your Load Character plugin, go to the Plugins tab at the top, and it should be there. So you can just click on it, and then there will be a pop-up, and you can drag this anywhere, but it doesn't really matter. So there will be an option to import a username over here. You can just import your character's username or any avatar on Roblox. And make sure there's a little X in the spawn at origin, which will make it spawn right in the center of the base plate. Then click Spawn R6. So to move around in Roblox Studio, you can just right click, and this will let you change kind of your viewpoint, and use W, A, S, and D to move around. You can X out of the Load Character plugin because we won't be needing it anymore. If you just want to automatically zoom to an object on the base plate, just click F on your keyboard and it'll just zoom you to that object. So now you might want to change your character's face if you want to. So to do that, click on the little triangle over here next to your Roblox username, then click on the one next to your head and select the face. Go to the Roblox avatar shop and then just find your face. And once you found it, just click on it and make sure to copy the entire link over here. So you can just right click on it and click copy, or you can just do Control-C or Command-C if you were on a Mac. So now go back to Roblox Studio, and then on the Properties tab, there will be an option for your face that says Texture, and just paste your link over here, and then click Enter. And there, now you have changed your avatar's face, and yeah. So now it's time to add a room model, which is basically just kind of a background for the avatar. So click on the Plugins tab over here and change it to Models. So you can search up anything you want over here, but if you have a specific room model creator that you like for the room models, you can click on this little button over here and then import their username. I have an entire video on aesthetic room models and room model creators, so I'll leave a link for that in the description if you need a little bit of help. So I'm just gonna go find a room model for my avatar, and I'll be back with you guys in a minute. Okay, so I think I have found the room model that I want, so you can just click on your room model and make sure to drag it a little bit closer to your avatar so that it'll spawn in a better position in Blender. So now it is time to export everything. So first we're going to export our character, so you can just zoom to it, and then you can minimize it in the Explorer if you would like. It doesn't really matter, but make sure you have your username highlighted like this, and then just right click on it and select Export Selection. So there will be a pop-up, and then you can just choose where you would like to save it, and you can just name it whatever you'd like. So next, you're going to want to export your room model. So do the same thing, make sure it is highlighted in blue, right click on it and select Export Selection. So once everything is exported, you can X out of Roblox Studio. So now you can open up Blender, and I'll also have a link to download this in the description. And to get rid of this little tab thing, just click anywhere and it should be gone now. So go to File, Open, and then there will be a few of your downloads and a bunch of different folders over here, but just ignore what I have over here. And you can just search for your rig. And I'll also leave a link to download this in the description, and just double click on it. So this is what your rig should look like. To move around in Blender, use Shift and F, and then use the same keys in Roblox Studio, W, A, S, and D to move around. If you want to move around faster, you can just hold Shift and use the same keys. And yeah, so you're going to want to zoom into the head and just right click on one of the parts and make sure it is in object mode, and then hold Shift while selecting all of the other parts. So once you think you've gotten all the parts, just click X on your keyboard and then select Delete. And this is what it will look like now. So just click on one of the parts and it should be in object mode. If it's not, just click on another part until you find one that's in object mode. Then click on the little cube over here and change it to Node Editor. So this may look a little confusing at first, but you can just zoom in and use these little scroll bars to go to the first image texture box over here. So click on the little file and then find your file or folder where you saved your avatar. So this is what my files look like. So the file that you want for your avatar's clothes is the one that has your username and then text at the end. If you have multiple textures, just click the one with the highest number and it should be the one for your clothes. If that doesn't work, you can just test the other ones until you find the right one. Then click Open Image over here. So then click back on this little node editor icon over here and change it to 3D view. And now you have your avatar's clothes. So now it's time to add the head. So go to File, Import, and then select wavefront.obj. And then find your avatar, select it, and then double click on it. And this is what it should look like. It's probably going to be in the wrong direction, but we can fix that. So use the little arrows over here and just drag it to one side, and then just click on any part. Make sure you are right clicking and not left clicking, and then hold Shift while selecting all of the other body parts except for anything on the head. And then click X and delete. So you should be left with your head and accessories, so you can just right click on it and then select B on your keyboard. Make sure nothing of the rig is in the way, or else it will get selected with the head. So I'm just going to make sure that it's just the head, and then select B and then drag it, and this is what it should look like. Then go to Tools over here and select Join. And now we have everything in the head joined as one. But I want the head to be in the other direction, and I also want these arrows to be closer to the head so that it's easier to move around. So first, click on Set Origin over here and select Origin to Geometry. Then go to rotation on the right and change Z to 180. And there, now your head is in the opposite direction. So you can use the arrows to kind of move it around and adjust your head as needed. And there. So now it's time to import the room model. So click on File, Import, and select 𝗲𝗏𝗲𝗃 again. And then open your room model. And now I have the room model imported. So it might be a little bit laggy, but that's okay. And now I'm just going to click Set Origin and Origin to Geometry. And I'm going to move it a little bit closer to my avatar so that my avatar is already where I want the character to be for the GFX. So now I'm going to rotate my avatar so it fits to this kind of area that I want it to be. But first I'll be teaching you how to pose your avatar. So on your rig there are different parts. For example, this one will move like the torso, but to move the rig parts you will be needing the rotate, which is the little curved arrow over here. And you can select anything that is in pose mode and you will be able to rotate it. For example, this part around the arm rotates the entire arm, and this part only rotates the lower arm. There are a bunch of things that you can pose on the rig, so just have fun with it. But first, I'm going to be rotating my avatar to fit in where I want it to be. So just select one part of the rig and make sure it's in pose mode and hold shift while selecting the head. So you can still move your rig around and stuff, and you can also rotate it using the curved arrow over here. And now I have rotated my avatar to fit the area, and now you can pose. If you want to make anything bigger or smaller, you can just click on this arrow over here, the third one, and you can kind of scale anything to be any size. Okay, so I have finished posing my GFX, so I'm going to be adding a camera now. So just click Shift and A, and then select Camera. If there isn't a camera option or it's kind of grayed out, make sure you're in object mode because it won't work if you're in pose mode. So yeah. So now there should be a camera that has appeared. Mine is just over here. So click View and then Camera. And this is what it should look like. So to move your camera, you can just use Shift F and WASD the same way you would if you weren't in camera viewport. So I don't want my GFX to be a rectangle, I want it to be a square. So just click on the camera icon over here and change the resolution to 2000. And now it's a square. It depends on how much you want the quality to be by. If you change both of them to, for example, 1080, it will still be a square and it will also render faster, but the quality may be a little bit worse. So it's all about how much you want it to be by. So I'm going to make mine 1080 because it'll render a little bit faster, and yeah. I think I like my camera like this, so I'm going to take a look at how it will look when it's rendered. Click on the little checkered ball over here and change it to rendered. As you can see, it's a little bit dark, and also don't worry about the grain. So to solve the darkness, we're going to be adding an HDRI. So go to your browser. So you can just go here and then search for Polyhaven. This will also be linked in the description. And this is what it should look like. There are HDRIs, textures, and also models. but we only need the HDRIs, so just click Browse HDRIs. So there are a bunch of HDRIs that you can use here. So you can change the category. For example, you can go to the skies, and there will be a bunch of ones that you can choose from. I think I like this one, so I'm just going to click on it, and this is what it should look like. So 4K is the resolution. If you make the number lower, the quality will be a little bit worse, but it will download faster, and obviously 24K is the highest, but 4K works fine for me. And make sure it's an HDR and not EXR, because that will not work in Blender. Then click download. So now my HDRI has downloaded. So I'm just going to go back in Blender and click on the world icon over here. Then click use nodes and click on the little dot next to color and change it to environment texture. And then there should be a button that says open, and then just click that. Now find your HDRI and then just double click on it, and this is what it should look like. And now we are almost done with our GFX, so click on the little icon next to the camera and select denoising. And then go back to the camera icon, and there isn't much left to do, so we can just render it. So there should be an option that says render, or you can go to the render at the top and select render image. This will typically take a while depending on the speed of your computer and what you selected the resolution as, but I'm just going to speed this part up and I will show you how to save your GFX once it's done. So now that my GFX has finished rendering, I'm going to save it. So just click on image and then click save as image. And then you can save it wherever you want. I'm just going to be saving it in a GFX folder, and you can also name it. And now your GFX is saved and you can exit out of Blender. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!